it's, I think, a necessity for the parent to be able to provide for the children. And I feel like he's stopping unnecessary spending for stopping the funding for these school lunches. And then this money can go towards maybe like new schools infrastructure, which I think will more positively affect the children of America.
You said that money could be better spent elsewhere, like on school infrastructure. First and foremost, Donald Trump isn't just defunding free school student lunches. He wants to get rid of the totality of the federal Department of Education. Second of all, I told you how it generates a positive ROI, which leads to more government revenue than not, because we're making this investment in the first place, which actually means we would have even more money to generate and build and pay for new school infrastructure. Third of all, for the most part, school infrastructure is not paid for or subsidized by the federal government, but rather paid for on the local level through local property taxes.
Okay, that's fair. What was your second point? How are we going to be better off?
Well, I think the second point that I made there is we'd actually have more federal money that we could potentially subsidize for local school districts to build new infrastructure if we were to pay for.
How are we going to have more money when we're paying for the lunches?
Well, because of the very simple concept of an investment. How am I going to have more money if I pay $15 into an Nvidia stock? Well, it's because the Nvidia stock is going to become more valuable the longer I hold on to it. And maybe 10 years from now, that Nvidia stock that I paid $15 into is going to be worth $150, right? Well, and the same notion, if we spend a couple $1 billion on free school student lunch programs now, increasing the educational and health outcomes of these students, and with better educational outcomes comes higher levels of admittance into college and higher levels of education, which leads to higher levels of skill within the labor force, which of course results in higher wages. And with higher wages comes more tax, and with more tax comes more government revenue, because that's what tax is. We'll ultimately have more money at the end of the day to reinvest back into these things, as the level of government revenue will be higher. It's when we spend money on a free school student lunch for a child in K through 12, it's not a dollar lost, it's a dollar invested into their future.